What's up? My name is Morgan Alexander, and this is the 1 month, 14th day check-in of no nicotine. Before I quit nicotine, I was doing it for 6 years straight, approximately. And here's a couple of things that I just want to touch on. So I've noticed there's two things that I want to talk about, and I'll kind of go into each of these. I'll go into this first one, which I experienced this morning, right when I woke up. And these are anger episodes. Everyone's going to deal with this, regardless of if you're addicted to nicotine or not, or recovering from addiction. But the thing that is key here to understand is that you don't have that vice that you're used to having to where, you get angry. You don't have that vice of nicotine to give you that false sense of feeling good, to kind of flush away the anger. And this anger, it could be started because you didn't get stuff done the night before. You went to bed and you woke up in a bad mood. Not only that, but even if you did get stuff done that you needed to get done and you were fully satiated in all categories before you went to bed, and you slept well, you wake up in the morning, you see something happen in reality, in your life, or even on your phone, and that'll trigger you. It'll just trigger you. And, I've pretty much figured out that a main reason why this happens is because of being associated with nicotine through your associations. So this could be friends, current friends, past friends, past coworkers, what do they call it? So the reason why why it's so triggering is because you see these people doing all these things, and it's something that you gave up. You went and you stopped doing what all these people are still doing. And now that you've had time away from it, you've realized that you accepted that when you were morally corrupt, You accepted that reality for yourself when you were corrupted morally because you didn't understand what the addiction entailed. And so you see other people doing it, and you're like, how can they be doing this, Something that I sacrificed, I gave up, and no, but they're still doing it, They're still enjoying their time doing it, oblivious of what's to come, what's to be. But that's not really what it's all about. Everyone at the end of the day is going to have their own path. You can't control people. Everyone's responsible for their own thoughts, emotions, and actions. And that just comes down to a self-responsibility. And so you, especially when you quit nicotine, you need to ask yourself, who are the right people for me to surround myself with? Because that kind of stuff, the being associated with nicotine through associations, you're not going to want to deal with it because, like I said, you came to the point to where you're not accepting that for yourself. And for me, at least, it was a moral corruption of mine, allowing myself to do that to myself, to stay in a struggling addiction like that, just wasn't right with me. And these anger episodes can start from anything, but that's something that I wanted to talk about through the experience of quitting nicotine, which I noticed. And then the second thing I wanted to touch on is a mental thing, and it's about being clear-minded. And what I've noticed after quitting nicotine, after a month and 2 weeks, and I noticed this earlier, but I'm now coming around to touching on it, is that I'm clear-minded, for sure. I'm able to form thought forms that I wasn't before, as well as let my thoughts flow. And not only that, but also allowing for structure of thoughts to form. And then also allowing for depth of thought. And, this is apparent through my videos, It's apparent through my actions, you know, in everyday life, my interactions in everyday life, as well as knowing my potential, because I'm always thinking, knowing my potential of my thoughts, knowing where it's been in the past, gauging where it is now, and knowing that in the past when I've seen, you know, the peaks of what I would call thought, and this goes way back, but yeah, you know, there's no limit to that. So it's just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger. You got to think about it, because you're not paying all that negative, well, you would view it as negative energy. Of course, there's perceptions and different perspectives, but you viewing your addiction as negative energy, that you don't have anything to do with anymore, you're getting not that bad energy, that negative energy that you view it as, but you're getting new energy that you're going to be able to apply it to anything that you want to, you know, to help you grow. That's not going to lead to something holding you back. And, you know, there's that saying, the sky's the limit. And we know of today that that's not true, because at the simplest part of things, you know, you got to say, hey, is the universe just the sky? And, you know, that's not even that deep. But, you know, you can disprove that saying many, many ways. But, yeah, that's just the simplest way about it. Because if you think about it, like, the sky is the limit. Okay, well, in science, you know, they came up with this term, universe. Is that classified as the sky? And so the sky being the limit, that's just not true. That's just a saying, and there's all sorts of sayings that are just not accurate, you know, that have just been handed down and spoke upon, that are just trash, you know. They don't mean anything, and a lot of them sometimes mean the opposite of things. But yeah, that's just something for you guys to think about. That second thing I talked about is something to look forward to, and even that first one, the anger episodes, it's all about just dealing with that. Not a lot of people, but everybody has their different ways of coping with that kind of stuff. So anger, for me personally, I like to let it out, you know, right as I'm feeling it, so I can kind of move on with the day, just move on with the day, and not be in that fixated, bad energy, bad mood, bad energy. And then there's other people that, you know, they prefer to keep it inside, you know, let the anger subside inside of them, and just try to avoid situations that they know are going to set them off, and, you know, do it like that. But, you know, it's not one or the other either. I want to stress that a lot. It's not one or the other. There are in-betweens, and it's just about what works for that being, you know, what works for that person. But that's it for tonight. Stay spiritually protected. Peace.